On this episode of kpopRC, we do something special. We take an old RC and we make it cool again. Yo, welcome to kpopRC, the channel where I make sick videos of scale models. Pretty much anything that's got a remote. So, don't forget to sub up for giveaways and sick-ass RC content. Sometimes there's fire. I've been accumulating parts for a long-ass time. I think it's time to put all these spare parts to use, so. All right, the car. The car is a clone that was sent to me. Didn't know it was a clone because I don't support that kind of thing, of a Twin Hammers. So this is back before, I'm assuming they got a cease and desist because you can't find the 10 scale version of the Twin Hammer kit. This is a clone. I do have a real one. I did buy a real one. It is up there. It was before you could really get short course trucks, so I wanted a solid rear wheel axle, independent front suspension truck, and nothing was available at the time, but yeah, just got put on the back burner. So this one used to run, but it's missing a motor, so I gotta put a motor and ESC in there. And I also kind of want to slam it, and we'll do some other cool things with it. Should be cool. Yeah, look how tall it is, it's so bouncy. I stripped it down. I took everything off, and I also have a whole stockpile of genuine Twin Hammers shocks and parts and stuff. So I'm probably going to end up replacing the clone plastic bodied shocks with the aluminum, the stock aluminum Twin Hammers ones, because they are just like, I can't even tell you how much better these are. These are really good, and those are really good. I can't even imagine what's in the diff, so when this thing explodes, we'll take it apart. I think I'm gonna take that one. Anyway, just digging through this stuff. Like, I just have piles of these bins that, like, I don't have time to really organize, so this is kind of sweet. So I think I'm gonna try to use this bumper. What else we got in here? That's cool. I checked out if these rods would fit, but they don't. It's too bad because it's like way stiffer than what's on there. But yeah, these are too long. I guess I could cut them and tap them. Yeah, true. I could cut them and tap them. Look at that. Just tap it. Same thread pitch, same thread. Cut this thing any size. God bless the Axial. You always keep me supplied with tons of spare parts because none of my shit runs. All right, this is what I have for the back end. I have these, I don't know when I bought these, but I have like aluminum rear suspension arms, or whatever they're called, lowers. Yeah, so why not? Let's use them. Next thing I found were two axial aluminum links, and I cut these down and use them as the back uppers. Sweet, I'm gonna see if that works. Good. And then so I have some options for shocks. I'm probably just gonna go with the stock Twin Hammer shock because they're aluminum body, and these ones are pretty dirty though. You need a good clean, and they probably have to be topped up, but they're super smooth. And then the fronts are also, I'm gonna use the stock Twin Hammers. They are stiff and awesome. It's clone plastic. Look how flexible it is. Yeah, I can't bend that. I sure can bend that. Garbage.
Yeah, so one of the major pitfalls of the twin hammers is the steering system. Uses like a sliding sort of rack and pinion, but it's plastic, and it's plastic against plastic. Sand likes to destroy it. So what I did was I bought a steering system from Shapeways. It was a bit of a huge pain in the ass to get it to fit, but somehow I managed to make it work, bending servo horns and cutting them and shimming the suspension higher to avoid contact with the steering servo arm. Whatever, man, it worked, and it's much better than it was before. Boom!
All right, so I cut the end link. This one I cut with a hacksaw. This one, however, I cut with my pipe cutter. So just so you know, these pipe cutters cut fairly thick aluminum rod. So just a heads up if you need to cut axial links. This works pretty damn well. Look, it's perfectly straight. It's awesome. So these are parts bin drifting rims from just like the pile of. This is a twin hammers. I had two twin hammers, both in parts, and so I just made single twin hammers out of those two. I did convert this to rear wheel drive, so there's no drive going to the front wheels. I also slammed it as low as it could go, and I also upgraded the steering to a like Ackerman style like pivoting system instead of a slide. I also upgraded the rear shock supports to aluminum, and also the rear link arms. They are also aluminum. I also cut down axial links to fit the rear. I just made them shorter for this so that it would work properly. All right, what's left? Shit. Okay, well, like pretty much everything is there. I have to put a receiver in it. I have to decide which receiver I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna end up putting my high-tech system on this because it's got a temperature sensor, which would be kind of cool to put in the engine. I've got it. The pinion is super big, and I don't even know the KV motor of the engine, so it would be good to be able to make sure that the motor isn't like melting its bearings, right? Also, I got a whole bunch of Neopixels coming for the 5 axial light bar, which I think is super cool. These are Tamiya, these are old Tamiya short course tires, which I think are cool, and these are RC drifting rims, so we'll see how long those last. So let's get to it. I'm gonna try to finish this thing. My problem finished. I'm gonna try to finish it. Because it would be cool. Like, what's cool about this that I'm looking forward to over, say, my Baja Ray is that I'm kind of getting more into the smaller RCs that fit my backpack, so I can go and like find a quiet spot in the forest where hundreds of kids won't swarm. It's like the next weekend, so not using a lot of lights because it's just gonna get really hot in here. So this one LED panel should do for shooting, but for my face it's awful, but for shooting down here it's pretty great. I found a really sick light bar after drooling over all of the individually addressable RGB LED projects out on the internet. I thought this would be perfect to do that. I found these little bad boys. Insert close up here. This just looks like a regular RGB LED. Like it just looks like a regular RGB LED. Like there's nothing special about this looking, right? It's a tiny little LED. But that microcontroller that I just showed you, the big honker, that's actually built into the LED. So these 4 pins, 2 of them are positive and negative, so 5-volt positive and ground. And then the outer 2 pins are the digital in and the digital out. So now let's wire these all up because like I wanna get this done. That's the in, that's the out. All right, so this is what I'm controlling the Neopixels with. This is a Arduino Nano. It has a USB programmer built into this tiny microcontroller. I only soldered the pins that I needed. I just needed, well, this is how I power it, right? So there's 1 pin on the out here that's labeled VN, which is voltage in. I'm not sure how much voltage you can get away with pumping into this thing, but I'm just gonna keep it at 5 volts because the logic on here is 5 volts. So I'm just gonna keep it consistent all the way through. Plus the receiver gets 5 volts. So I'm just gonna power this thing from the receiver, or from a PEC. Now I haven't decided. I don't think I'm gonna put this on my power supply and measure the amperage that it draws. And yeah, I put a little servo lead on the end here, and this is gonna power the Arduino Nano. You can make displays out of these. Like you can wire like this. Like this is a giant LED array that I made a Pong game out of, which is pretty cool.
I also designed a awesome duct for the cooling of the ESC. Reminds me a little bit of the Titanic. Very nautical, but looks pretty sweet.
It's that time where I give away 2 Recaro 1/10 scale seats for your sick ass ride. If you want to be eligible to win 2 Recaro 1/10 scale seats for your drift project, for your dashboard, for your desk, whatever, leave me a comment below in this video, make me laugh, and maybe you will be the one who gets the next set. This week's winner is Cheddar Cheese. Yo, that cheddar. Thanks for all the wicked links on the videos, all the great comments, and just being, you know, part of the community. Yo, so it's done. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty cool to skateboard behind this thing. I spent a whole bunch of time skateboarding my neighborhood. It is a bit sketchy because these wheels are very firm. And because they're very firm, it likes to get a little squirrely. But I mean, all rear wheel drive cars are fairly squirrely. You just kind of have to be light on the throttle. But anyway, man, I came here to talk about the NeoPixel programming, and I started talking about the car. NeoPixel programming. Okay, I'm not going to teach you how to program an Arduino. You can spend a weekend making an LED blink all you want. That's up to you. It is very easy to wire these. There's just one signal pin from your Arduino, and then you have to feed these guys 5 volts. That's it. That's all you really have to do. That and load in some kind of program that changes these pixels however you want them to change. In the link below, I am leaving a HTML website. Chrome might say it's a virus. It's not. It is a program through HTML that where you can program your pixels, how many pixels you have, the duration of each frame, and then how many frames and what each pixel does at what given time. Then it spits out Arduino code that you can then paste into your Arduino programming window. You can change the pin to make sure that the signal pin matches what's in the software and what is physically plugged into your Arduino, and upload. That's all you have to do. The difference is what I have sequenced here is just sort of like a demo for the NeoPixels. Like, this is just to show what the NeoPixels can do. This includes dithering and sort of like fading and strobing and all this stuff. The software that I am providing down below, not written by me, written by somebody else. Genius. Thank you, whoever did it. I don't even know where I would find that. But anyway, it doesn't have dithering. So what I'm supplying below, it will only really help you if you want to do like hazard lights, if you want to do headlights, if you want to do rear brake lights, that kind of stuff. This doesn't mean that you can control with the servo turning signals. That is like a whole other ball game of programming that I'm just like not yet into. But stay tuned. I do have the update of the K-bus, the K-pop bus. I'm redesigning my light kit using these, and it should be much more streamlined and simplified. And maybe I should turn this off because it's making so much noise. It's too dark. Yo, that's it for this week's episode of kpopRC. Stay tuned for cool RC build projects. The next one I'm working on is the neighbor. Hell yeah, brother. Let's get some bald eagles up on this channel, shall we? With this sweet ass Crown Victoria that I spent a solid 40 to 50 hours printing on my Prusa printer. Yeah, this is just one of many 3D printed RC projects that you can expect on the channel coming up. Trying to pump them out weekly. It's too hard. I'm trying my best. The next couple of videos might end up being short and tight and simple and on one topic, just to keep me sane, because editing this stuff is just it's a lot of work. It's just like a lot of footage to go through. Stay tuned, subscribe. K-pop out.